In South Africa, we're actually expanding the concept this year in that we're taking it to Cape Town too. So roughly numbers-wise, we're almost doubling I suppose we are doubling the venues. We've got 2 host cities this year. An interesting thing too, and I think South Africans are really good at this, when we do something, we actually do it very well. We are the first agency that's actually doing Portfolio Night, McCann being the host, that's actually doing 2 host cities ever in the entire history of Portfolio Night. So that's quite a nice thing too. Creative directors-wise, we're looking at roughly about 60 to 70. That's actually quite a lot if you consider how many are in South Africa. Student-wise, we're looking at about 200 to 250. I don't want to confirm the final numbers yet because as I'm doing this interview, we're currently still obviously getting all the students to register at the moment. This year we're actually doing campus-wise. We decided not to host it at McCann this year because I think it's important to spread the love, so to speak, on Portfolio Night, because I want everyone in the country to own this concept. Like I said, I use the word host being a very important thing in the equation. So we're doing it at the Vega campus in Johannesburg and at the Vega campus in Cape Town. Numbers-wise, I mean, I'm going to take global numbers too. There's roughly about 3,000 ECDs that are taking part this year. There's about, I think, 26 host cities this year. Obviously, that spans from New York to London to Singapore to Sydney, all over the place. There's roughly about 13,000 students that are taking part in Portfolio Night this year. So you can see how in the last 12 years, this concept has actually grown immensely. Last year, 2013, they started this concept called Portfolio Night All-Stars, which is where each host city selects the best student of the night. Last year, we had Lisa Marie Dreyer be our winning student from South Africa. The cool thing with Portfolio Night All-Stars is that the students get whipped off to New York for a week. If you think about if I was a student and I'm going to New York to actually work with some of the best students that have been selected globally, they worked on a global brief. Last year it was Ford. We're still waiting to hear who the brief will come from this year. They were based at the Art Directors Club or headquarters in New York, and whilst they were there, they weren't just working on a live brief, they were also being lectured by some of the really cool creative people in the industry on what's happening communication-wise. So, this year with South Africa, obviously being hosting 2 host cities, we get to have 2 students, albeit one from Johannesburg and one from Cape Town. So Portfolio Night is going to be taking place next week, Wednesday, which is the 21st of May. Once again, I just want to stress that what makes this concept really cool is that it happens on one night all over the world. So that's a big drive and sort of like a bit of a buzz around the event. You can obviously follow it on portfolionite.com, and you can go to the Johannesburg page or the Cape Town page. We are obviously doing all the social things like the Facebook platform, all of that, but a really good way to get involved is just to go to hashtag PN12, and you can follow it on obviously on Twitter. Twitter is actually a global sponsor this year, so they're going to be creating a really cool platform for us. So there might be some extra cool things that you can do socially too, but that's a really good place to go to find out what's happening. Yeah.